Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. How's everyone doing out there?
All right, we're live.
We are live. Are we looking good here? We have a different setup.
Yeah, I think we're great.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, how's everyone doing?
It's great to be back.
Yeah, spring is pretty much here. Very exciting.
Pretty much here. We took a couple of weeks off for spring break. Our kids had 2 different spring breaks, and we went on 2 different trips. We went to Vermont and to a law conference in Dallas. And so now we're back, and we missed 2 Wednesdays. It was we missed you. We missed you guys.
Sorry, gang. We are happy to be back. For those of you just joining us who have never joined us before, my name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, attorney Radlin Mendoza, and we are the law firm Gardner and Mendoza. And we come to you every Wednesday, well, except when our kids are on spring break, from
almost every Wednesday
until 9 o'clock, to give you legal updates, immigration law updates, and most importantly, to answer your questions. So if you do have questions, please put them in the chat and we will address them as the evening progresses. And I also want to welcome all those of you joining us over here on TikTok. If you see me looking to the side, we have a whole TikTok family out there who comes and joins us as well. And so I will be monitoring those questions. If you are on TikTok, I always encourage you to try to jump over to Facebook, only because it's a lot easier for us to see and digest your question over there. So it's more likely to get answered. All right. And that said, I also have to give you a disclaimer. What we do here
love disclaimers. We're lawyers. We just love them.
What we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. If you want legal advice, no problem. Just become a client of ours and we will give you lots of it.
Okay. And lots. Probably too much. No, you can never have too much. Sometimes you can.
But yeah, we just got back from a legal conference in Dallas, and I just wanted to just give a shout out. Is that something people still do? Is a shout out still a thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to just to Dallas, Texas. What a really fun place. We had never been to Dallas, and we really liked it. It's a really nice city. If you have not been to Dallas, you should check it out sometime. Nice place.
Yes, very cool. Very cool people. Very vibrant art scene, as we found out. And we are not cool enough for the art scene in Dallas. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah, we were staying right across the street from the Dallas Museum of Art, and there's also was an art fair going on, an international art fair going on, where we were there with just all these super cool paintings from all over the world, all these folks that were displaying works from, just from everywhere. It was really, really neat to see that. So, and a lot of other cool stuff as well. So that's our little shout out to Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello. I think it's Breckton. Nice to see you. Thanks for saying hi. And y'all get your comments going. Hello, Amy. Good evening. Thanks for saying hello. Don't be shy. Ask some questions. John already gave the disclaimer. And for those of you all just joining, I'm Radlin Mendoza, and this is my husband, John Gardner. We are immigration attorneys at Gardner and Mendoza. It's a law firm that we founded 22 years ago.
22 years
ago.
Year
2000, we are here. And we are changing with the times. We're changing with the times. We've had the live stream going now for 2 years. And it's a really great way for you all to get to know us, and for you to ask your immigration questions and for us to answer them. And so you get to know us and you see how we are, and hopefully you can, you appear and you share this for people who you think this might help. Please share. And hello, Miss Lovely. Great to see you. Love all of the people that always come every single week when we're here.
Yeah.
Amethyst, what a beautiful name. Hello. Thanks for joining. And we have some questions going on. I think we've got some questions already.
Yeah, Lady J sent us some roses over here on TikTok. Thank you for that.
Oh, and you know what? We're part of like the stars program on Facebook now. So if you're able to send some stars, we would love to get a star from you.
Yeah, and if you are on TikTok, those of you joining us on TikTok obviously are, but anyone who's joining us who's not, Radlin does quite a few immigration TikToks, and they're very awesome. They're entertaining and they're very, very informative. And so if you have questions and we don't get to your question, or you think of a question later, check out her TikToks, because you may find scrolling through them that your question will get answered in one of her TikToks, because most of them deal with a frequently asked question and they cover all kinds of things. And so whatever answer you're looking for, she probably has addressed it in one of those TikToks. And so I would encourage you to go there if you have not gone there yet.
Yeah, it's fun. Ray, our youngest daughter, is in a lot of the TikToks.
Right.
All right. I'm going to, Brickton has asked a question and I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's long, so it'll cover up our faces, and you don't want our faces to be covered up, right?
Well, not yet anyway. As the evening progresses, you may decide that you've seen enough of us.
Right. Okay. So it's Barkadon Ahmed, 29 years old, from Syria, Rojava, Hasaka Governorate. I have worked for International Coalition for fighting ISIS as an English translator, with essentially a combined joint task force operation, Inherent Resolve in Syria. They have given me a recommendation letter to apply to immigrate to the United States. It is an authentic reference, but I do not know how the process works. Could you please guide me how to use this reference and how to apply, please? So the reason I read the question is, well, I mean, because it's a really good question, but unfortunately I can't answer the question because we have not done cases like this. Now, Barkadon, that doesn't mean that we can't do it and that we won't do it. All the cases that we've ever done have been first cases, right? Like the first time we've ever done them.
Every type of case was a first at some point in time. That's right.
It's a first case at some point in time. Yes, just as John said. And it's kind of funny when I think about some of the first cases that I've ever done, and I remember them very well. When you're doing a case for the very first time, you're extremely diligent, right? You want to make sure that you cover all of the bases, that you don't miss anything. So I think that even when we're always diligent, but when you're doing a case for the very first time, you're extremely, extremely diligent. So anyhow, Mr. Ahmed, I'm sorry that I don't know that process. I've had clients who have gone through that process, and we have assisted them with applying for U.S. citizenship. So reach out to us at our law firm. Our information is on the board here. It's 757-464-9224, which is our phone number. Or you can send us an email to info@gmlaw.net. And I assure you, we will be able to figure it out with you if you want us to. So, but thank you for that question. And thank you for your assistance in helping out. All right. We have some questions.
We do. We have some questions over here. The very first question that came up was whether or not a deported alien can ever apply for reentry.
It depends on the circumstances. Sure. I mean, we would have to know a whole lot more information and have a conversation through a consultation and talk about, why did the person get deported? Are there any waivers? Did they have to stay out for a certain period of time? Has that time passed? So there is a lot going on there, and we'd have to just know more information. But the answer is yes, possibly, but also possibly not, depending on why they were deported.
Okay, and let me quickly grab this one here. This was Lady J, who got on very early, sent some roses, and had a quick question. Has derivative U.S. citizenship.
Okay.
However, does not have a certificate of naturalization, only has her passport, and wants to know what to do to get a certificate.
So if you have derivative citizenship, then the application is the N600 if you derived it from your parents or however you derived it.
Yeah,
so you'd
that
have
was
to.
Her specific question.
Yeah.
What application?
I am pretty sure. I'm kind of thinking of the N600. We do the N600 a lot for minors, but I believe also that is the one that you would have to file for as well. Again, this is not legal advice. I'm taking a shot in dark, but
check it out, Lady J. Look in the N600 and see if that looks like the right form for you.
Yeah, to get the certificate. And then the question is, why do you want the certificate? Is there a specific reason as to why you want that certificate? Sometimes people need to have it for, and it's usually for military purposes. When I first started practicing, the child would get derivative citizenship from a parent, and I would say, oh, well, you just need the U.S. passport. You don't really need the certificate. The certificate is really expensive. But now I'm changing that, because over the years, when these children become adults and they want to do things like join the military or, work for the federal government, that they're asking for something more than just the U.S. passport, which is interesting to me. But so.
Yeah, she'd asked if it was I looked at her last part of that was whether it was the N400.
It is not the N400. The N400 is the application to naturalize, to become a U.S. citizen. You are already a U.S. citizen with a passport,
right?
Yeah, and you've derived. All right, but it's a fantastic question. Amy has a question here. Amy says, I have two nieces that came to the States when they were 8 years old during the Obama era. During the time, didn't apply for DACA. Fast forward time, the oldest is 17, about to finish high school and dreams to go to college, which requires social. With DACA is not allowing any more application. What are my niece's current options? Her parents aren't documented, but their grandmother and uncle have tourist visas. So again, Amy, we'd have to evaluate this. What are the options for them? One of the things that I'm thinking of now, this oldest is 17, about to finish high school, is, who do these kids live with? Do they live with the parents? The parents aren't documented. So do they live with both of the parents? I'm thinking SIJS here, special juvenile. So reach out to us, Amy. That's a really good question. And so just for all of you all, when we do a consultation, we get all the facts. We will ask all these questions of Amy. Where are the parents? Are both of the parents living with the children? That could be a potential route. Has anyone in the family been, the victim of a crime? If either of the parents been a victim of a crime, maybe there's a U visa and they would be derivatives because they're minors. So lots going on here, which we would need to know. Sometimes, the consultation is very helpful. At the very end of the consultation, we ask all these questions and it's like, no, we can't do anything. It's looking bad. And then boom, right at the end of the consultation, this has happened a couple of times recently, to not just me and John, but to Sarah as well, who is another immigration attorney at our firm, where we're talking at our meetings, like, at the very end of this conversation, we find out that,
some tiny morsel of information that changes everything.
Right. So we have to really dig into the facts and do that through the consultation. So
we're answering questions here, and some of them do have very straightforward answers. I mean, Radlin can tell you, how long do I have to be a permanent resident before I can apply for citizenship, something like that. But most of these questions, and most of the time in immigration law, the facts and the details really matter a lot. And the only way that we can really fully analyze what the best course of action for you is by having a thorough 1-hour consultation to really get all the details, all the facts, and vet all the options to see what your options, what your possibilities are. So that's why we highly recommend that you schedule a consultation so that we can adequately analyze the facts of your case.
Yes, and a consultation at our law firm. Give us a call, 757-464-9224, or send us an email, info@gmlaw.net. You can also reach out to us through Messenger on our Facebook here. Our consultation is $275. The $275 is, you can pay that. Usually our clients pay it through credit card. It's going to be a virtual appointment. All of our initial consultations, whether you live right next door to our office, or whether you live in Colorado or you live in Manila, they are all virtual. We typically do them through Zoom. We can do them through the phone, or we can do them through FaceTime or Messenger. We try to be very flexible. Our preferred platform is Zoom because it can be recorded And there's also a fantastic filter on Zoom, and it makes us look like really young, you know? So, the consultation is up to an hour. It usually doesn't last an hour, but it is up to an hour. And if we find that we can help you and you want to work with us, then we will credit that $275 to your legal fee. So
Right.
As I like to say, the consultation is free, right?
Yeah,
but it's not. It's $275.
And with the
initially.
filter, I only look like about 50 with the filter, so it helps quite a bit.
No, you look great.
And immigration law, just to remind everyone, if you don't know, immigration law is federal law, so it doesn't matter what state you reside in, wherever you are, or a country that you're in, we can help you out regardless of where you are. A lot of people think, well, maybe I live in Texas, I need to have a lawyer in Texas to help me with my immigration case. That is not true. You can hire an immigration lawyer anywhere in the country, no matter where you are, because federal law is the same from sea to shining sea.
Sea to shining sea. Yeah. Don't let me start singing that song.
I haven't said that in a long time.
You really wanted to say that, didn't you?
It just came to me just now. I don't know.
All right. So we have this question here. Hello, my question is, what if I petitioned 2 kids from the Philippines? Only one got approved. Why is that? Good question. Why is that? Why did we file? Okay, wait. Okay, so filed 1 petition, 2 kids from the Philippines. Only one got approved. Why? Oh, all right. So if I'm reading this correctly, you filed only 1 petition for 2 children. Hopefully you filed a petition for each child, because that is what you needed to do. You can't put 2 kids on an I-130 petition if you're directly petitioning for your children. So if you did file 2 separate petitions for each of your children, like you're supposed to, and one got approved and you're still waiting on another one, there could be a couple of reasons for that. Number one, they may just not have gotten to the second case yet. Okay, she says 2 I-130 petitions. Good. They may not have gotten, did one get approved and it's been like 2 years now with the other one? Cases can get separated and go in different ways. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. They may have gotten separated and ended up different offices.
And maybe you didn't, I'm not saying you didn't do this, but potentially maybe you didn't put the requirements for the second child in like you did for the first child. So those are a couple of things to look at. But if it hasn't been, if one got approved this week and you're still waiting for the second one, it could take a couple of months for the other one to catch up, or even it could just be on its own separate path. So don't worry. Try not to worry too much. We do get that a lot, where people say, hey, I had my interview. It's been like 3 months and I haven't gotten sworn in yet. Is that a problem? Should I be concerned? And you don't necessarily have to be concerned. It really all depends on scheduling, processing, where did this case land, etc. So don't worry too much. All right, let's see here. Do we have any clips? Let's answer some TikTok questions.
Sure, we'll get a couple of these real quick. Okay. So Desiree wanted to know, green card. I went through the green card interview. Can I admit if I worked under the table before? So concerned that at the interview, the question is going to come up whether ever earned any wages that didn't show up on a tax return.
I did not mean to cough during that question.
I know.
So John put water here, and I don't ever drink water during the live stream, but since it's here, I'm just drinking a lot of water, and it's bubbly. So one of the bubbles.
Yeah, I added water. We're trying to up the set here a little bit.
Yeah.
With beverages on.
I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, it's a little
this
odd.
Up and then anyway. So we're fooling around with the setup. So worked under the table. You have your green card interview coming up. Should you put your work on the application? You should, yes. And the reason is because you should not make a misrepresentation on your application. And who asked the question? Desiree.
Mm-hmm.
And Desiree, if you one of my videos is about, it's kind of being silly. It's like, there's only one time you should lie to your lawyer, and that's if you don't want to have a great outcome, right? And sometimes people think, oh, I worked under the table, going from my green card case, it's based on marriage to a U.S. citizen spouse. I'm going to leave this unauthorized work out. Well, that's not advisable at all. Put it on there. It is not going to harm your application if this is based on an immigrant immediate relative petition, and it could harm you more if you leave it out. But that would be my tip. Again, going back to what John said earlier, this is not legal advice. I would love to take a look at your case and just make sure, I'm going to stick by my answer there. And it's not legal advice. You can't really count on it. I'm just answering a question. Should you put it on there? Should you not? I generally advise my clients, and we always have the practice of putting information on there that they're asking for and not misrepresenting. So
yeah, and while we're on that briefly, you're talking about work, but also that would apply as well to like convictions, for example.
Oh,
there seems to be this general idea out there. We see this all the time with immigration cases where people leave things off thinking, oh, well, that was 15 years ago and I got that ticket in Tennessee. So now I live in Virginia. I'm just going to forget that. I'm sure nobody knows about that except for me and the local sheriff down there who arrested me. But be careful. You really,
they do biometrics, right?
They know. So the thing is, what Radlin is saying, again, it's not legal advice, but the reality is that usually the thing that you're worried about putting on there is not going to be a problem to begin with, right? But then the misrepresentation is a problem. All right. So you would have been better off to just include it and take the bullet for it than try to hide it and then get caught hiding it. Because if you get caught hiding it, then you have a much bigger problem than you ever had to begin with. So that's my 2 cents on that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Great tip. All right. Let me grab Brian here. I'm an F2B category. My case is ready from last year. So I already received an interview in this coming May, but the problem is my sponsor passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. My priority date 2009, approved my expedite last November because of medical condition of my sponsor, but now she passed away. What can I do, Brian? I'm really sorry to hear about that. This could potentially be a humanitarian reinstatement case. And humanitarian reinstatement, and Brian, you were so close there. Anyway, possibly the case can be, we can file a humanitarian reinstatement. That's the good news. The bad news is that humanitarian reinstatements are very lengthy and they're very difficult to deal with because it's a process that does not require a payment of anything or filing of anything that requires a payment. So they're very difficult to track. So Brian, please reach out to us. Our information is up on the board on the screen. 757-464-9224 is our phone number. Of course, wherever you are, you can also send us an email, info@gmlaw.net. We have WhatsApp as well. So if you prefer to reach out to us through WhatsApp, I don't have that number right now, but you can shoot a message through Messenger or info@gmlaw.net. But I'm very sorry to hear that. All right. Noreen says, I filed my daughter as green card petitioner. We are still waiting for an interview. It's been 3 years. She's 23 already. Applied for my citizenship already. Question, what should I do when I get my citizenship? Shall I call NBC or send them an email? Shall I hasten my petitioner on her if I'm a U.S. citizen? Okay. So Noreen, I don't know where Noreen is from. Let's just guess Philippines. I can't really, I can't look at a picture and tell where someone's from, but I'm going to just guess Philippines. So when a person files an I-130 petition as a lawful permanent resident and then becomes a U.S. citizen, Noreen's question is, hey, is this going to make my case faster? Possibly. It may or may not. how do I inform NVC about this? Yes, you can send them an update and let them know that you are a U.S. citizen. And then send them your certificate of naturalization to show that you have become a U.S. citizen. And with regard to, and I don't want to get too into the weeds about this, but there is something called the Child Status Protection Act, and basically it states that, it states there are a lot of things about the Child Status Protection Act, but one thing is that if you become a U.S. citizen, and by virtue of your becoming a U.S. citizen, that petition that you filed for your daughter, it becomes slower. Your daughter can opt out of the F1 category and go back to F2B. Okay, so it's an opt-out provision, basically, if that, so it doesn't slow down your petition. So that's good news. Hopefully that helps, Noreen. And thanks for the question. It was a really good one. Do you have any questions?
All right. It's 12 midnight. It's 12 midnight has a question.
Oh.
It's 12 midnight wants
it's
to
so
know.
confused. It's just like,
that was a setup. It's 12
why would
midnight.
you do that to me? I'm already just, so into the questions, we have this giant screen. We're looking at ourselves and it's very distracting.
It's 12 midnight wants to know that has heard that some marriage-based interviews are waived. Have you heard of this or encountered this with any of your clients?
I have not, unfortunately. No waiving of marriage-based interviews as of late.
All right.
Okay. Let's see here. Mel says, hello, I need advice. I've been waiting for an interview appointment since 2020 for my wife. Is it time for me to hire a lawyer? Every 2 months, I receive the same email that it is complete. Thanks. So, Mel, just obviously, to be completely honest with you, and that's what we want to do, transparency. If you hire us, if you're in the stage that I believe you're in, which is your wife's case is documentarily qualified and you're just waiting on an interview, there's not that much that we can do as far as making that go faster. And that is because of the massive backlog. And we also have clients that are waiting for an interview. And it's basically just the time that you got in line, right? And it's terrible. And I'm sorry that you're in this situation where you've been waiting for an interview since 2020. I mean, it's 2022 now, right? That's 2 years. That's a really long time. And I wish I could say that, John and I and our law firm and our team can just like clap our hands and like, oh, we're your lawyers now. You're next in line. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. I wish it were. We probably would have like a lot of money.
Yeah,
that
does work in traffic court. If you have a speeding ticket or a DUI or something, they do take the lawyer cases first.
Yeah.
In most of the courthouses here, but
yeah, and I'm not saying, obviously we're attorneys and this is our profession and we've helped thousands of people with their immigration cases, with their traffic cases, their criminal cases, primarily immigration. And we can do a lot to get the case moving, but under these particular circumstances, because it is just this backlog that they have, that they're really trying to dig themselves out of, and it's tough. And I don't know if you've tried this yet, but you may want to reach out and do a congressional request to get some assistance on your case. That could help. We tell our clients to do that as well, just so there's another angle there. And if you don't know how to do that, and for all of you all listening, as well as on TikTok, please come and join our immigration Facebook page. It's called Live Love Immigration. And we will pin it in the comments, Live Love Immigration. It's on our Facebook page. You can reach it through there. But our Facebook page is Gardner Mendoza PC. at Gardner. Well, it's at Gardner Mendoza Law. So come there. Let's have this conversation about expediting and just a community of people like you who want to know more about immigration or interested in immigration and have questions about immigration. And we are there. So Mel, come over there and go find we've pinned a link on how to make a congressional liaison request on Live Love Immigration. All right. What do we have?
All right, so the question here, can I apply for U.S. citizenship and a fiance visa at the same time?
No, cannot. Unfortunately, you have to be a U.S. citizen in order to file the fiance visa petition, which is the I-129F. Lawful permanent residents cannot file for the fiance visa. And one of my most viewed TikToks is basically a 10, 15-second video that says lawful permanent residents cannot file for the fiance visa. Only U.S. citizens can. And I was completely attacked in the comments. It was very funny because people did not believe that lawful permanent residents could not file a fiance visa, but they can't. So gotta wait.
All right, and here's another question. I'm going to read into this a little bit because I think there's a little bit missing. It says, I'm an active military. Any information about U.S. citizenship? How long would it take? Thank you. I think the question is, I'm active duty military and would like to apply for citizenship. What are the special time considerations that apply if you're U.S. military?
Yeah, so it really depends on if you've got anything going on, whether they would expedite that or not. You have to be a lawful permanent. Well, you don't even actually have to be a lawful permanent resident. So with regard to time, I don't have the processing times right now because I don't have the processing times. But depending on with regard to where you're going to be stationed next or what your next job is going to be. And if it's something where, they can expedite it in your jurisdiction, they very well may expedite it for military. Hopefully that answers the question.
All right. Yeah, and thank you for all of you for your service out there who are in the military, citizens and non-citizens. There's a lot of people think you have to be a citizen to be in the U.S. military. And that is not true.
Okay, so Ria has our virtual assistant in the Philippines. She has put our Facebook group, Facebook group into the comments. I started, so go there to join that group. We would love to have you. And when you join, introduce yourself. We would love to have a conversation, a more vibrant conversation about immigration and the struggles that you're having with immigration or the joys that you're having with immigration. It's not always struggles, right? I mean, we get green cards all the time. We get work permits all the time. And if you go to our Facebook page, you will see many photos of our clients getting their green cards and their work permits because they're so happy they let us take their picture. So,
by the way, Lady J said, thank you for the response. She is applying for some sort of a job where she's been asked questions about her citizenship because the employer doesn't understand what derivative citizenship is and seems to be questioning the legitimacy of it. And
even with a U.S. passport.
even with a U.S. passport.
So it sounds like an employment lawsuit to me, exactly. An employment discrimination lawsuit to me.
I was thinking the same thing.
See, we're lawyers.
Who is this employer who's not happy, who's like, oh, well, you have a U.S. passport, but I don't know if you're really a U.S. citizen.
I don't know very much about employment discrimination law, but that sounds, whoever you are, employer, watch out. Because that's, maybe it's the federal government. It's the federal government then.
Yeah, maybe. That's probably. All right. And Ms. Mara 16 here, she sent some roses.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that. And wants to know that she's a green card holder working on my citizenship. If I get married, will I be able to petition my parents?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Okay. So
fill in the blanks there. I'm a
Yeah,
little
lawful
confused.
permanent residents cannot file a petition for their parents. You have to become a U.S. citizen first, and then you can file for your parents. U.S. citizens can file for the parents.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do with whether you're married or not.
Yeah, that's the part I was also looking at with a little confusion what the marriage had to do with it. So working on your citizenship, Ms. Mara 16.
Good job.
Yeah,
good job.
And when that is complete, then you can call us and hire us to petition for the parents.
We would love to
help you with that. We do that all the time. All right.
And for those of you whose parents are here visiting on a tourist visa, and you've convinced them to stay because you need a babysitter for your their grandchildren,
Right.
They may be able to adjust their status if you are a U.S. citizen. We have been getting a lot of those cases.
Before you grab any more questions over there, because I didn't know if maybe you were getting ready to, we have a comment here. I highly recommend Attorney Mendoza. My process went really smooth. Glad to see you here on TikTok.
Yay! Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Marin, thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Thanks for for finding me, or
that's cool.
I showed up on your For You page by
I love that.
It's the universe. Mm-hmm. The universe speaking. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. All right. I don't have any more questions over here on Facebook.
They just keep coming here.
Let's go.
Mary, let's go. We don't get that joke. Our nephew that says that, and then everybody started saying it. I don't know what it comes from.
He just wants to go. He wants to go.
The question here: I'm on a J1 visa, but it will expire this August. Me and my spouse are yet to file for a spouse visa. Can I stay in the U.S. while it is being processed?
So, generally speaking, if you are on a J1 visa, and you're not subject to the 2-year residency requirement, if you are here on an F1 visa, if you are here on a B1, B2, if you're here on any other type of non-immigrant visa, and you get married to a U.S. citizen, just assume the person is a U.S. citizen, then you are able to adjust your status to that of a lawful permanent resident based on the marriage to the U.S. citizen, even if your stay, your I-94 or stay, in case of the J1 duration of status, expires. So if you file it, then you are in a period of stay authorized by the Department of Homeland Security until a decision is made on that application. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that is the general rule. So going back to the question.
We're chuckling because I was having some difficulty. Ultimately, I was successful, but some difficulty explaining this and getting a jury to understand this many, many years ago.
You are in a period of stay authorized by the Department of Homeland Security. Yes. John is a trial attorney and he has had a good amount of, we've worked on marriage fraud cases together. Mm-hmm. I was forced to be a trial attorney with John when he had his federal marriage fraud criminal trials where, our client is being accused of getting married just to get the green card.
Yeah, this was a while ago. There was a period in this area here in Hampton Roads where this was a very prevalent. It's a long story, but anyway, it's
a long story.
We had several federal jury trials that involved marriage fraud.
John won 2 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
He won 2 of them. Jury trial. Yeah, amazing. Just unbelievable. Anyway. So to answer the question, I think that answers.
Yeah, we're not suggesting. By the way, just we are not suggesting there's any marriage fraud here at all.
No.
I was just when she said a period of stay, it was
right.
It was a concept that even the judge was having a very hard time. It was sort of
right, because they're like, well, it expired. It expired, and right. why is she still here? Because she's allowed to be here. She's in a period of stay authorized by the Department of Homeland Security.
Right. So if you're on a J1, it expires this August, and you're married to a U.S. citizen right now,
and you're going to file.
What you need to do is is
call
us tomorrow morning and schedule a consultation, and we will completely take care of this case for you.
Yeah, I want to know why it hasn't been filed yet.
Yeah, I was wondering the
Why?
same thing.
Why?
Well, probably because they didn't know what the situation was, and now you do. So
yeah.
All right.
We will get it done for you.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a call.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. I don't know when you join, but it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in Colorado, LA, Virginia Beach.
We do all this through Zoom, DocuSign. It's all wherever you are, we are.
So immigration law is federal law. And that means that we can represent clients in all 50 states. And of course, we represent clients from all over the world. But specifically for, federal law, you can represent, we don't need a law license in every state because it's federal. Right. And some people were having a little bit of a hard time understanding that when I put up a TikTok that said on 420, which is like the day that everyone smokes marijuana, apparently, do not smoke marijuana on 420 if you are not a U.S. citizen, because it's still a problem for immigration. And so many people wrote in the comments, that's not true. It's legal in California. It's legal in X state. And I'm just like, I know.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
This is another warning. If you live in a state where marijuana is legal and you are not a U.S. citizen, don't do it.
Yeah. It
legal,
causes so many problems.
Not legal under federal law yet. I suspect that someday it will be, but for now,
then we won't be saying this about marijuana.
Yeah. And when that happens, we will stop warning people about marijuana.
Yeah. I mean, it's so prevalent. Like, I don't know, people, it's everywhere.
So, I mean, wherever you are, if you're in Arizona or California or Michigan, it doesn't matter. If you've got an immigration case, we can handle it. All right.
Yep. And doesn't matter if you're not a U.S. citizen, don't smoke marijuana.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. This question I'm going to ask Nika Mercado 23, if you could add more to this. You say, is it better to petition her here in the U.S. or in the Philippines? I think I know what that question is about.
So what is it?
It's missing some pieces, and so if you could expound upon that, just to make sure that we're not getting it wrong. Is it better to petition her here in the U.S. or in the Philippines? And so I think I know what's going on there, but I want to make sure. All right?
Yeah. Here's a tip for every couple out there that are sitting in the same room. Like John and I are sitting in the same room, right? We're in the same room. We're in the same room. But we're not.
For those who are just joining us, we are married.
We are married. Okay. We're also law partners. We also have 3 daughters. We have children together. It's legit. Anyway, so
it's a real marriage. That's right.
So for any couple sitting in the same room together and one part of the couple has traveled from another country to visit the other person in the United States of America, before you do anything, before you leave the country, come talk to us. Okay. Why are people leaving the country without talking to an immigration attorney? Hello, Linda. What's up? Am I right, Linda? Am I right?
We have a special viewer who has just joined us.
Yes,
Linda Carter. Hey, Linda, how are you?
Linda Carter. We worked together for so many years. She was an immigration officer at the Norfolk Immigration Office and a supervisor. And she is retired now. And her comment, she comes into our live stream sometimes to help us answer some questions. And her comment says, federal law screws up 420.
Right. She's a great person, has a lot of great information as well. Yes, federal law screws up 420. That is right, Linda.
So many stories. This woman has so many stories, so many funny stories.
Yeah, and she's a great resource because she's, we're always on this side of it, and she has seen all of it from the other side of the desk.
Linda, listen, I've been thinking about you. I think that we should write a book. What do you think? Thumbs up. Who thinks that Linda and I should write a book?
I do.
Let's do a thumbs up. See, I've given you something now, a project. We love projects. That's the latest and the greatest shiny object. All right. This is a good question here. Nikita says, is it better is it better to wait for our interview or to get an immigration lawyer? I'm not sure what, is it better? Okay. Sorry, I'm messing up here. Nikita's asking the question, and maybe I'm missing part of it in some of these comments. All right. Is it better to wait for an interview or to get an immigration lawyer? Oh, I see. Should you just get an immigration lawyer for the interview part, or should you get an immigration lawyer for your whole case? Well, I am a little biased, but you should get an immigration lawyer for your whole case. You should hire us to do your whole case.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I don't think I have anything else to say about that.
There's nothing else to say about that.
Well, here's what I will say about this, Nikita. If this is a marriage case, or if this is for your parents, or whatever it is, okay? Immigration right now and yesterday and tomorrow has it takes a really long time, right? I mean, there were days when a marriage case would take 3-4 months in Norfolk, right? Linda remembers these heydays for a long time, and it happened for 8 years. That was happening. 4 months, 5 months, case is done. You get your green card in that amount of time. Now you're looking at 12 to 15 months. So do you want a partner with you, an attorney who is walking on that journey with you for 12 to 15 to 18 months to get your green card through marriage or whatever the case may be? Or do you want to just wait, wonder, and do it on your own? So, it's up to you, right? It's totally up to you. And what your comfort level is. You can absolutely just hire us to do the interview, but you'd be better off if we did the whole case from scratch.
Right?
Yep,
absolutely. I mean, that's all we do.
It's all we do.
We do
all day long. And we're going to write a book with Linda.
We do it every day. So we
know, what that looks like.
We know what to do and what not to do to get it right.
Linda, think of like the fun dinners we could have just brainstorming about the book.
Yeah.
Little lasagna, little salad, little red wine.
A lot of anecdotal information, good stories.
Do we think we've convinced her? She's just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, she's gone quiet.
Yeah, she's just like, she's ghosting me now. Like, don't answer her calls.
So, Stormtroopers 1977 has a question, and again, it sounds like we're just plugging immigration lawyers right now, especially ourselves.
We're plugging immigration lawyers. Yes, we love immigration lawyers.
But the reality is, this question here is another example where you would be so wise to hire us. Stormtroopers 1977, somebody's applying for wants to apply for the N400, but is afraid to apply. I guess it's his wife, because she has a misdemeanor with a set aside and got a second chance. So it might have been like some sort of a deferred finding or something. This is a perfect example of a case where you should absolutely consult with us. What
you should hire us to do the case.
You want to file for citizenship, but you've got a criminal record that's making you nervous. Yeah, I understand. I'd be nervous too. Call us. Let us analyze what was the charge, how long ago was it, what was the result, and we can absolutely advise you.
I have a perfect example of that with the same exact facts. And the person called us, did not want to pay the consultation fee. Our consultation fee is $275, and he hired someone else. He hired another attorney. Great. The same exact set of facts. His wife had a theft conviction or whatever. I don't know if this was theft, but it was a misdemeanor conviction. And they filed the N400. The case was denied because of the theft. The attorney had a brief. I mean, they briefed the issue, but it was still denied because the attorney wasn't there for the interview. And even if you're not in the state with us, we get a partner to go to that interview with you if we feel like it's necessary. And I mean, it was denied. So he came on to our live stream, our Facebook Live. We talked about it, right? We talked about what he could do, what are the different options. And And we got it resolved. Like we got the case resolved for him. I charged him a whole lot of money as a penalty for not hiring me to begin with. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. And his wife got his citizenship, and it was, he really needed to have an attorney present for her at that interview because it was that important. You have something like this, even if on its face, the law says, yeah, this is, you can still naturalize with this. You need an advocate for you. You can't just roll in there and do that. So anyhow.
And I'll take this opportunity as a side note. If you are a non-U.S. citizen and you currently have some sort of a criminal matter pending or even a traffic matter pending that has not gone to trial yet, be sure to let your criminal defense lawyer know that you are not a U.S. citizen, and ask them what the immigration consequences may be from the conviction. That's very, very important that they know that. And if they don't have an answer, then I would recommend that you find a different criminal defense lawyer who does know the answer, or have your criminal defense lawyer at least consult with an immigration lawyer so that they do find the answer. I know that in representing my clients, every time I've ever represented somebody who is a non-U.S. citizen in a criminal matter, I've been very conscious of what the immigration consequences might be, and therefore tried to structure the outcome of the case, even if they were convicted, the sentence and the outcome in such a way that it would not ultimately cause them an immigration problem down the road, or even if it was going to delay things, to cut it down. I mean, it could be something as simple as a DUI conviction, which is not a bar to becoming a U.S. citizen. But if you have 3 years of good behavior, you have to wait those 3 years.
Yeah.
If you only have 1 year of good behavior, you only have to wait the 1 year. It's awfully good for your criminal defense lawyer to know these things, so that they don't inadvertently put you in an immigration trap that's going to come back and nail you down the road. And usually what's so sad about that situation is by the time the person discovers that this criminal conviction is going to be a bar for them for immigration or a problem, it's way too late to go back to the state court and try to reopen the case because it's old. So try to address it early on, whether you
have to.
Yeah, no matter what, if you are anything other than a U.S. citizen, and by that I mean if you're a permanent resident or you're just here on a visa of some sort and you have a criminal or traffic charge, you really should make sure that you talk to somebody about that. All right, whether it's us, or if you already have a criminal defense lawyer,
have the criminal defense attorney call us.
Have them call us and say, hey, and I talk to criminal defense lawyers all the time about this very issue. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we actually have, throughout the years, have even trained and done presentations for the public defender's offices and the Virginia State Bar to help criminal defense lawyers be aware of these issues.
Right.
Because they're not trying to do a bad job. Usually they just don't know any better. Okay, sorry about that. That was a big, long sidetrack.
No, but it's really, really important. People need to know this. Okay, Nikita, let's see here. Oh, I see. Nikita, it's been 4 years that I filed a petition for my husband, and still we don't have an interview scheduled. They're still sending us the same email for the last 2 years. Yes, it's a backlog. We have a bad backlog here. I'm sorry that you're waiting. 4 years is a really long time. I mean, we can take a look at that for you to see if anything's wrong with it. Nikita, reach out.
All right. Can we grab one over here real quick? Because this is something you kind of touched on. And
this is a good question. Next one is too. Okay.
You want to take
Suman,
that?
I've got your. No, go ahead.
All right.
Suman, I've got your question.
We got about 5-6 minutes.
We do a hard stop.
We have to.
We have to do a hard stop. Otherwise, we'd just be up here forever.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
And our child will not get to bed on time for school tomorrow. Question here, because you talked about this just a minute ago, and this question comes up again. Chastity Page wants to know, can we get married while my boyfriend is here on she calls it a traveler's visa, or does he have to come back on a different visa later? So
who is that? Chastity?
Mm-hmm.
Chastity. So Chastity, maybe you were here a minute ago when I said couples.
I wanted this to be repeated.
Couples. If you are here together in the United States and your loved one lives in another country and is visiting you here in the United States, and the Chastity's asked this question, can we do something here, or does he have to go back? You have got to contact us so we can tell you what to do based on your set of facts.
Yep.
Right? You cannot let him leave or let her leave or let them leave without contacting us to make sure that this is what you want to do, right? This is what you want to do. I have a couple come into my office. He was about to go back to the UK, and they're talking about the fiance. Okay, we're going to file the fiance visa. He goes back. He's going to go back. And I was like, well, what do you want to do? Like, what is your ultimate goal? Like, that's what we want to know. We need to know, what is Chastity's ultimate goal? What is your ultimate goal? What was their ultimate goal? Like, well, I mean, if we had it our way, we would just stay together and never have to be separated and not go through that whole process. Like, well, you can do that. And I'm so glad that you came to my office so we could do that, because he was getting ready to leave, the next week, and we canceled the flight because, when someone comes in, you can't assume that they're going to do the process of adjustment of status. Sometimes people have to go back to work or go back to school or have to wrap up their business back in their country. I don't assume that, but 7 times out of 10, that is the case. That is the goal. The goal is to not be separated anymore. We're done being separated, right? So reach out to us. We can absolutely help you with that.
Don't tell your loved one, hey, you know what? I love you, but it's not worth $275 to find out what our options are here. I love you, but not that much.
Yeah.
That's unreasonable.
I mean, it breaks my heart when I'm doing a Zoom and, they're in Manila. He's in Minnesota. And she just left. You left. You did not leave. Did you? Are you serious? You left. Okay. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, why did you do that?
Why did you do that? So
I guarantee the plane ticket was more than $275.
I mean, again, you have to get the information. You cannot piece immigration laws together from my TikTok and his TikTok and her blog and her immigration page. You can't get it all together to understand.
Endless Google searches.
Right. You have to hire a professional, and we're professionals. So
okay.
All right, let me get Suman has a really good question. And next week we are going to change this format, so we'll be able to put your questions on the screen. Do you see how it's like so much like we need to anyway? Yeah. Maybe we can sit on stools.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Can green card process be switched from consulate to adjustment of status if originally applied I-130 as consulate and now in the United States on a visitor's visa with approved I-130? It is for the parent of a U.S. citizen. So great, fantastic question. Can it be? Yes. Should it be? Maybe. Why do I say that? Because we have to find out what parent said at the point of entry, if parent made any type of misrepresentation as to why parent was entering the United States, for what purpose. But we've done this before, of course, and it can be done. And I asked the question, should it be done? Because we don't know the full facts of the case, right? Again, going back to, this is not legal advice. This is general information. Generally speaking, if a person enters on a visitor's visa and wants to adjust status because they are the immediate relative of a U.S. citizen, as your parent is, yes, they can apply for adjustment of status. And the other part of that is, well, they have an I-130 petition pending already. That makes it a little bit more, right? So Suman, give us a call. We can certainly help you with that question and help you guide you with that question, and just make sure that if your family chooses to go that route, it is not going to be a problem for your parent down the road. Okay.
All right. Do we have any other questions?
So Nikita says, I just contacted your office last week and Ms. Jacqueline advised me to communicate first with our senator. What does it do? Because I am confused. So Nikita, when we have a backlog timing issue, right? Your case is not moving because of the backlogs that we have in interviews in embassies all over the world, right? What is making a contact with the congressional do? Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. It basically lets them know, hey, I need your help. I am a constituent. I've got this problem here at the U.S. Embassy in wherever you are, Manila, and I need your help to get it moving. I have been waiting for 2, 3, 4 years in getting this case moved, and I'm stuck, and I need your help. So that's what it does. They will make an inquiry on your behalf to the U.S. Embassy. Most likely, that inquiry is going to come back. Oh, they're working on it. They're working on it. But still, there's another entity going out on your behalf, and you are then making inquiries on your behalf. So it's just one thing to do.
It's just your representative reaching out to the executive branch, which is immigration, and saying, hey, a constituent who lives in my district has got this case stalled. What gives? What's going on with it?
And maybe if they get so many inquiries, they're like, okay, there seems to be a serious problem here. Well, they already know there's a serious problem with immigration. It's so bad, guys. It's so bad. But should we try to end on a good note?
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, here I don't know what the good note is going to be. Oh, well, here's a good note. Come here. It's our daughter. Look, and she has our branded
look at
our
that.
Branded shirt on. Yeah, she supports Gardner Mendoza. She is our timekeeper.
She's a real team player.
This is a big screen,
That's
right?
The big screen.
So thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful questions. We have missed you, and we will be back next Wednesday.
We'll be back here next Wednesday, 8:00. Okay, bring your questions. I apologize, those of you on TikTok. I know there are more questions.
Stop.
Join us next week. Get here on time and get in the queue first so that you can get your questions answered first.
Thank you
It's
for
just
all
like
the roses. First in,
out.
first question, first in, first out. Right.
Okay, gang.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.